Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. Just realized I don't make a video from this angle. I normally sort of point it towards the corner, but from here you get a good sight of the man, Buff Bagwell himself right there for you. Just noticed that the other night I was sitting around and I watched something on the WWE Network. Wanted to do a little review on it. Thought I watched In Your House 4. Turns out I watched In Your House 5. Went on the Wikipedia to pull up the the results so I can give you the review as I run it down in my mind about what I saw the other day, and I was like, I don't remember any of this. I don't know what I watched, but I didn't watch this. Flipped over to the next show, Seasons Beatings, In Your House 5, a show from December of 1995. And this was the show. I mean, it honestly had one match that was really good, and it had a whole lot of just other stuff that was in it. I sort of said that about the other show, In Your House 3, which had the big main event at the end. It had some matches that, didn't really have any appeal to them, but once you watched them, they sucked you in and they were good. You got to think that WCW is about to be kicking ass in just a few months. About the summer of 96 is when, they just lit fire with the NWO and they just left everybody in the dust. And from watching this In Your House pay-per-view from WWF back then, they deserved it. I mean, honestly, it really did. We start off this show basically with the tag team match, Razor Ramon and Marty Jannetty. How this team is formed, I have no clue. I know from watching the last few In Your Houses, going back to In Your House number 1, we saw Savio Vega debut. We saw we saw Aldo Montoya running around, and they were sort of like, friends of Razor Ramon. But how Razor became friends with Marty Jannetty, I got no clue. They didn't give us really a backstory to this match. They had match against 1-2-3 Kid and Psycho Sid. Both of those guys part of the $1 Million Corporation, I guess you can say. We all know that 1-2-3 Kid had been feuding with Razor Ramon for, a long, long time. Basically since 1-2-3 Kid thought that Razor had turned his back on him. We saw Razor and Marty pick up the win here in a match that's really not that good. Kid and Sid don't really have really good chemistry that go along with what's going on. After this match, we go to the WWF hotline where you normally see the winners go on there and they would tempt you to call into the 1-900 number. This one they were also trying to get you to go on AOL and go into their chat room, and that's a whole nother deal, man. I can talk about AOL chat rooms. I think some people started with Prodigy, some people started with AOL. You people get on the internet these days and think you know what's going on. You got to go back to those days. I mean, wow. We didn't have anything, and we thought we had the world in our hands. But that was crazy, crazy stuff. But Razor Ramon gets a little interview from Todd Pettengill talking about the match, talking about what's upcoming, and he's handed a letter, which is gold. They don't really tell you what's going on. Razor reads it, and you can tell he just doesn't know what to think, and then he just instantly goes into disgust, and he crumples up the letter, throws it, and he looks like he's going to go whoop somebody's ass. That would be a letter that came from Goldust, which would be a big angle going on into the future. Razor Ramon that would be his WrestleMania angle if he wouldn't have left to go to WCW, having Roddy Piper replace him in the Hollywood Backlot Brawl. It was going to lead to a big Miami Street Brawl live from Miami. Razor Ramon versus Goldust. It might be better off that it went this way instead of the other way, especially with that being Razor's, what would have been Razor's last match if he would have done it. From there, we went into sort of an award ceremony with Jerry the King Lawler granting Jeff Jarrett a gold record to go along with the CD that sold over 500,000 copies of Be My Baby Tonight. I don't know. It was an easy way to get heat. I don't know why they weren't having this Jeff Jarrett singer sing the themes to the In Your House pay-per-view, because the In Your House pay-per-view is just god-awful horrible. And why Vince thought this was cool, I got no clue. But he accepts it. Everybody hates it. Ahmed Johnson's in the next batch. He's supposed to wrestle against Dean Douglas. Dean Douglas says he has a back injury, so he's substituted by his head student from his class, Buddy Landell. I had no clue who that was. But you look at Ahmed Johnson, and I mean, it was just, honestly, you just see fear. I mean, like, that was a big dude. How he never became anything more than Intercontinental Champion. I know that he had injuries from, Farouk, bruised his kidneys, and maybe he never really got to where he was, after coming back from that injury. I don't know if they had to take his kidney out or what they had to do. And I know that he got hurt a few times where he just muscle tears, but that dude was big. How he was not a WWF champion, I got no clue, because that guy had fanfare, he had everything, and he had charisma. Maybe the promos were a little bit just sort of like barking like a dog a little bit, but it worked. That guy was over. I loved him as a kid, and he should have been more than what he once was. From there we go to the Arkansas Hog Pen match. I think this is on a ton of DVDs. It's on the Best of Triple H, Best of In Your House, Best of this, that, and the other. But this is just Henry Godwin. He's just really just beating the piss out of Triple H. Everybody knows that this is coming off of Hunter's big, D push. No, it couldn't be from that, because basically that was the D push was after the farewell to the Click thing in New Madison Square Garden. This was on the rise of Triple H. Well, I guess he did get the win, but I've always looked at this match as sort of like one of the punishments for being it. But, this is a match in Henry O. Godwin's, wheelhouse. Hillbilly Jim is the referee. Hunter, basically just pulls out the win. But it basically, how you win is you throw the guy into the hog pen, which is, in the arena, just a full-on mess of slop with pigs running around. They built this big pen. Triple H is, sort of like tempting that he's going to lose the match, like he's going to fall over. The way that the thing is built, his whole back is just covered in blood from just cuts from him laying on the post the whole night and just going, over and over and just never really falling in. The way he gets the win isn't really a fluke win, but it is sort of like, they made Godwin look good, but Triple H pulled out the win at the last minute. But then, Triple H end up, throwing it in there, and in heel fashion, he's throwing mud at the fans, and somehow it looks like it comes from the fans. It might come from Henry O. Godwin, it might come from Hillbilly Jim. Somebody just plants a mud pie right in Triple H's face. He puts his hands up the blockhead, he doesn't get into time, and he just, boom, just a big old mud ball. If you know what a snowball is, it's just the opposite. It'd be made out of mud. From there we go into a really, really weird match, which is the Owen Hart against Diesel. Both of these guys are heels. Owen Hart is led to the ring by Jim Cornette. Diesel is turned heel, going with a new attitude, basically because, he wasn't able to get the win over Brett. He feels screwed, that, other people are in line to get the title that he thinks he deserves. So he's just going full-on heel. But we're running with the storyline. Owen Hart was in the ring with Shawn Michaels on Monday Night Raw. Owen Hart took the loss in the match, but Shawn Michaels collapsed. They made it look like sort of like something was wrong with Shawn. Like, it was sort of like, he wasn't getting blood to his brain or something like that. And, they made it look like Shawn's career was over. Just another one of those things that they gave him an angle because, he lost his smile and he didn't want to lose to somebody along the way, so they just found a way to get him off TV. But it worked. It's one of those, moments from Monday Night Raw. He collapses. Just the announcers don't say anything. They just let the picture, speak for itself as you see Vince and everybody get into the ring and they try to get him out of there. So Diesel is fighting for his buddy Shawn, because Owen Hart took credit for, ending his career. And he's just out to just beat the piss out of him. Honestly, Owen Hart wins this match by DQ. I don't know how it happened, but Diesel looked like he won the match. Owen looked like he was never going to walk again. From there we go to Undertaker wrestling against King Mo. This is in a casket match. This is coming off Undertaker fighting Kama, trying to win back his urn. Kama had stole it, melted it down to make a big, huge chain. At the moment where it looked like Undertaker was going to get his chain back from Kama, a.k.a. Godfather, a.k.a. Papa Shango. Basically, Mabel and Mo came down. They stole the chain, just basically restarting the same angle with Taker, which shows you that a lot of people have, Undertaker on this high sort of status of being one of the greatest of all time. The reasons why I don't put him up there is just remembering all of the bad angles that Undertaker was in back in the day. Sometimes it's hard to block those out. He did become legend status with the awesome matches at WrestleMania from about WrestleMania 23 on or so, WrestleMania 24, all those ones. Batista, the Shawn Michaels, the Triple H, CM Punk, Brock Lesnar matches, all of those ones just spectacular. Everything before that is just sort of like, you wrestle at WrestleMania and you gotta win. Big deal. After Undertaker throws King Mo and Mabel into the casket, closes the lid, which is basically the end of King Mabel until he would return in the Attitude Era as Viscera. How most people know him as Viscera or as Big Daddy V in ECW. Basically this was like the Spirit Squad getting stuffed into the crate and sent back down to Ohio Valley Wrestling. Undertaker's in the back, and we see a showdown between Undertaker and Diesel. That would be, their WrestleMania angle kicking up as well already here in December, with them going on with Undertaker beating Diesel, and I think that being Diesel last match in the company. He might have came back and did a job on Monday Night Raw to somebody. I'm not 100% sure. I think he did, because I think he's talked about this in shoot interviews before, where Vince wanted him to put over Vince wanted him to put over Taker, put over Yoko, and put over somebody else. And he said he would put over Yoko any day of the week, but there was no way in the world he was going to put over somebody else. And I can't remember who that guy was in that sort of thing, but I think Vince let him go on that last one. Basically that's what they jump-started from there. And in the main event, what everybody was built around was the rematch from SummerSlam 1992. Bret Hart versus the British Bulldog. This time it was for the WWF Championship. They had it built up with Diana Smith on the outside. This time she, wasn't as in the middle as she once was. She basically took on the role of the heel, all about British Bulldog, but she did flinch every time that Bret got hit every once in a while. They tried to make it almost like Diana was like the Miss Elizabeth of wrestling. I don't know if they were trying to make her a star. It just didn't work out because of her horse teeth, basically. But the camera was on her on the outside of the ring a lot. I mean, it just sort of seemed like, the camera was on her as much as it was on the match with the split screens and everything. They wrestled a good match. No way in the world that's as good as SummerSlam 1992. Bret pulled out the victory just by, just reversing a roll-up. And it was kind of weird because British Bulldog's the heel, but we see Diana sort of comfort the British Bulldog, and they walk out. And it's I didn't know if we were supposed to feel sorry for him because he didn't get the win, even though you got Jim Cornette standing there with him. But you can definitely tell that Bret is the man. They had a very bad gimmick with Santa Claus coming out. I don't know if this was the start of Santa Claus or Xmas Claus, whatever you want to call them. But Santa was with Savio Vega, and they were passing out kids the toys, and then all of a sudden Ted DiBiase came out, kind of promo, and then basically Santa Claus started whooping down on Savio, and he just took off with DiBiase, and DiBiase said that everybody had a price. I know that Santa, aka was played by Balls Mahoney. This guy didn't look like Balls Mahoney. So I'm not sure if this was him or not, but it was definitely something, and I'm not sure what it was, and I don't think they would be dumb enough to run that angle twice. But that's my review of In Your House Season Beatings, In Your House number 5. I will go back and I will watch number 4. Probably not tonight. It's already 10:30. I got jury duty in the morning, but get to it. Peace out.